Pro-eco, extra edgy, and extraordinaire, Penmen Elite is known to be very particular about who they represent and affiliate themselves with. So what is it about your work, Infant Terrible, that really captivated them?
You know, we did the research on Struwwell Peter, which is the original, I guess, conglomerate of stories that Heinrich Hoffmann did back in 1845. Took it to Penmen Elite and they just loved it and saw the, I guess, the potential.
They saw the excitement in our eyes.
A lot of excitement.
It is based on your book, right?
Yeah.
What was the inspiration for this book?
Heinrich Hoffmann.
His stories, the short stories that he wrote back in 1845 were different. They weren't your typical short story fairy tales.
It's going to be very, very, very dark and gruesome.
He concentrated on the punishments that were going to happen to these children that didn't do what they were supposed to do. So yeah, it's going to be dark and it's going to be...
Struwwell Peter's got a list, and he is checking it twice. And if you're bad, you're in trouble.
Well, that leads me to my next question. Do you think that it will promote violence in the younger audiences, children?
No. Our movie isn't going to be about violence.
Right.
It's about what happens when you don't do what you're supposed to do. And the kids are exposed to things like violence in video games. Certainly there's movies out there. But this is a fantasy world that we've created, so it's... If anything, it's fantasy violence, and I think kids are smart enough to understand that this is to stay in the movies.
Struwwell Peter was very popular when it was first released over 150 years ago. Do you think the film will bring back its popularity?
He came up with a number of these poem/short stories. So what we've done is we've taken a few of his stories, turned them into one big epic story. But it's the same story, just a little bit more in tune with today's audiences.
And I think it's a fresh take on some very relevant moral tales, and I believe it's just going to catch on like wildfire. I mean, it's a story that seems to be timeless, and it is the #1 children's book.
Yeah, I was just gonna say this is the most sold children's book franchise, if you want to call it that, of all time. It's gonna be wildly popular, I think, anywhere it goes.
Yeah.